Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the second day of June, the 154th day of 2020, a year we will all remember for a lot of bad reasons, but we'll remember it. There are 212 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Thank you, Dick Hafner, for all the news, presented the way news should be presented, as news. Dayna Clark is here, keeping an eye on the roadways and weather and the passing scene with, believe it or not, an opinion or two.
Just a small one.
Not afraid to give her opinion.
Not big.
And there's lots to give opinion about right now, Dayna.
Good morning.
And Ann Thomas is on vacation, our executive producer, which brings us David Reeker, who is helping out. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
The kingpin in the house.
The kingpin is here. Now, let's see. Dayna has a camouflage hat on because the military is coming.
In honor of our military, who should not have to fan out against the American people.
Well, I hope they're not going to be against the American people. But if there are people who are trying to continue riding on the backs of the good people who have much to protest about and legitimate protest, which is peaceful, if people try to piggyback on there, and it seems to be happening at any time after dark, and various governors or mayors around the country are incapable of or afraid to prevent those militant people from burning their city down, the president feels he has to get involved. I was saying I can't say earlier in the week, that was yesterday. So somewhere along the way, I said we need a good fireside chat to make us all feel confident and comfortable. But now the people who are causing trouble don't really care about a fireside chat. They don't care about anything. And so I don't know what the answer is, but I hate to see the answer having to be the United States military.
That was not a fireside chat.
No, he didn't do a fireside chat. No. And apparently, and we'll have the governor on at 7:18 to hear her take. And, the two of them don't get along. And she and others have said that he came on the air and just kind of started scolding all of them for not being tougher.
Yeah. Yeah, so, she was on CNN last night as well. So.
Oh, our governor was again?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I didn't see it. I don't watch CNN very often because they anger me. They make me angry when they do what they do, because where I say Dick tells the news, presents the news the way news should be presented, I'm specifically thinking of CNN presenting the news exactly the way it shouldn't be presented. Protests across the U.S. are causing delays and disruptions in deliveries of packages and food. What was this story about Amazon contacting all of their delivery folks and saying, wherever you are, please come back. Bring your packages with you. What was that about? Did anyone get any of that?
I didn't hear that one.
No, I didn't see that one.
It was like Amazon. They were the drivers were out.
Oh.
And there was a call for them to come back. I didn't get any. Dick, did you hear any of that?
Oh, he's
I don't
on
hear
mute.
Dick.
There he is.
Simple.
I'm sorry. What was it, Dick?
It was all about safety of their drivers. It's very simple.
But across the board, they were worried about all their drivers?
Well, that sounded a little unusual, didn't it?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? You're 25 feet away from your delivery. Turn around and come back. Wait a minute.
Let me just drop these off.
What? 542 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
And at almost 5:43, we have Dayna Clark, our WJR traffic and weather first. Dayna?
Nice quiet start out there, Paul W. We did see some rain showers overnight, so keep in mind some areas could be a little wet this morning. Traffic First sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Celebrate 80 years with Guernsey this summer at your local grocer. Now, from their award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, they are a true Detroit summer tradition. Guernsey is excited to announce their newly remodeled restaurant opening for carryout June 3rd and is now hiring. Apply today at GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. That's GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. Just looking at construction 75 northbound at Clark Street, those ramps are closed. Those ramps will be shut down through June 4th. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Clarkston Window and Door. Over 31 years in business, over 450 combined years of experience installing windows. Trusted specialists at Clarkston Window and Door. Act now to take advantage of their 31% off installed windows, doors, garage doors. Call 248-336-6781 or clarkstonwindow.com.
Clouds here, but they'll break up. We'll have a hot day today, even though we may get a passing shower or two. Most of the day dry and warm, up near 89. Tonight, clear early. Thunderstorms after midnight, 72. Thunderstorms associated with a cold front rip through tomorrow morning. Then partly cloudy in the afternoon will take temperatures down to 83. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging on News Talk 760 WJR.
So far, Michigan coronavirus cases up to 57,532. Death toll now at 5,516. I wish they'd put on there the number of people who have survived the coronavirus. Apparently, it's gotten much better because one of the things we haven't even talked about, because we've been held prisoner for so long, it's kind of the Stockholm syndrome. We're free! We haven't talked about that yet. Rush Limbaugh with us from noon to 3.
39,000 have recovered.
39,000, all right. Rush Limbaugh's here noon to 3, Monday through Friday. He stops by in the morning, right now, in fact, at 5:45.
Those of you old enough to remember the political season of 1968, welcome back.
I guess we don't hear Rush. Mm-mm. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're free. Everything's opening up, and I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, kind of free. Some spots are still closed. Still can't get a haircut.
Man, I didn't even stop thinking about a haircut.
Right.
I have so much hair. And
right. No haircut, no gym, no casino.
No manicure.
No manicure, no pedicure, no massage. So.
There's no massage still, huh?
No spa.
I did hear that you could do a gym if it was outside and you socially distanced, though.
Right. But you know what? Just open it all up. I mean, all those protesters out, everybody out.
Yeah.
They were together. Most did have a mask on, but still, come on now. Just forget it. Just open it up and you know what to do. If you don't know what to do at this point, I mean, I don't know.
Hey, David, if you could try to get, maybe you got this same thing sent to you that I got. David Horowitz is usually pretty interesting, and he's written a new book, as unlikely as it would be coming from anyone anywhere near institutional media. The book is called Blitz. Trump will smash the left and win. New York Times bestselling author David Horowitz. Boy, you wouldn't get that feeling from the institutional media, that's for sure. Not the way they have been covering everything. Did you know in that video that I've seen 1,000 times now, and we've all seen, of the police officer killing George Floyd, they've now thrown into the mix the other officers. I didn't see them, but they were. Here's this poor guy laying on his stomach with his hands shackled behind his back, not struggling to fight them or anything. You got the moron with his knee on the guy's throat. I didn't see the other two officers also sitting on him, making it hard for him to breathe and for his heart to work properly. It gets worse. I didn't think it could get any worse.
I know. Well, they did hire an independent medical examiner
And they both came up with the fact he was murdered. Just they have different conclusions as to how
Right.
and why, but
Right.
it doesn't much matter. He was murdered.
It has been ruled a homicide. So
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Um,
If they would have said it wasn't a homicide, that would have been
right.
ridiculous. Okay. Hopefully we have people tuning in.
Our Facebook fans who are saying good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's going to be hot today. We could see 90.
90 today?
Claude says, come to Toledo for a haircut.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Stop by the Beirut while I'm there. I like to do 2 things. Stop by, see my mother on the way to Monroe. 3 things. I can do everything.
Patrick says you're this generation's JP. He got to say he grew up listening to JP. Paul W. is this generation's JP. From Patrick.
Very nice, Patrick. Thank you for that. That's a wonderful compliment. I grew up listening to Joseph Priestley McCarthy as well. Never thought I'd be sitting in this chair. Well, actually, I never thought I'd be broadcasting from home.
Right.
But here we are.
My brother and sister-in-law tried to drive down to Toledo to go to the mall on Saturday or Sunday, and it was closed because of the protests. So they drove all the way down there just to find the mall closed.
Night Music is writing Kroger closed early yesterday across the board because of what's going on, and then we kind of got a play-by-play with what was happening out at Somerset Collection, which now I think they've said they're closed until next week. I think. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that. I heard that. But because of what was going on. Although they had a very peaceful demonstration in Troy. Very peaceful. The way a demonstration should be, frankly. And that's all I've heard. I've got a weird light on me today that nothing in here should be any different. I keep looking around. See the light on my shoulder?
Yes.
That's the light that I have here all the time. If I bring it over here, it goes up. Interesting. But anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Too much.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Hey, Dave, is this the actual 10th year anniversary of poor Armando?
It is.
This today is
10 years ago today. Yeah. The almost perfect game for Armando Galarraga.
Yep. And it was as tough on Jim Joyce as it was on Armando. Maybe even tough for that poor.
Probably. Umpire. Yeah, maybe tougher. You're right. It was such a bad call. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and he was to be, and we'll go down. It's a pretty good umpire. He was a pretty good umpire, and he said, "I don't know what happened. I mean, I saw it. I was watching it, and out of my mouth came safe. Out of my hand signals, everything came safe." And he said it was like he saw himself doing that and didn't understand it altogether. And as you pointed out in our conversation earlier, David, it's pre replay
That's
time.
right.
So it's like they couldn't go to the replay and see it.
Yep. If they had
everybody
replay, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But everybody
saw it and knew it was wrong. And even Jim Joyce knew it was wrong, I guess. But interestingly enough, 10 years ago today that happened. But many, many more years ago, June 2nd, 1941, baseball's iron horse, Lou Gehrig, died in New York of that degenerative disease that unfortunately lives on, and people get Lou Gehrig's disease. He was just 37.
Wow, that's young.
When he died. That is young.
Why can't you have like a 5-second rule to take it back? Because people make mistakes all the time.
All the time.
If you just say, "Oh, you know what? I made a mistake." Like
blew that
quickly, not like innings later. But why not?
I don't know.
Why?
It's part of the game.
Could have gotten together at that time and convinced Joyce that his call was wrong. Dave, why didn't they do that?
It's a good question. I do not know why they didn't get together and convince him that his call was wrong. I don't know, but I don't know if they could have overturned it anyway. I'm not sure.
Of course they could have. We've seen that. We've seen that many times where umpires change their mind. It has to happen fairly quickly.
Right.
But Joyce was a fair-minded guy and was considered to be a good umpire up until then. I don't understand why they didn't get into a cabal right there on the diamond, take 30 seconds to him and say, everyone in the stadium saw that it was out. You need to change your mind. I can't figure that out.
Yeah.
It's a great question. Maybe if Armando Galarraga was maybe a more high-profile pitcher, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, no one expected greatness from him.
Could be.
No one really. And you know, if that were Justin Verlander, and he was that close to doing that, they might discuss it in a different way. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, Armando, he was just an average pitcher who just had one great night that unfortunately got ruined.
Didn't you say, David, they discussed changing it in the record books, and you said they should not do that?
I don't think. Well, lately Armando Galarraga he didn't petition to get it changed, but he said he brought it up if they were going to change it, he wouldn't mind. But they can't go back and change it. It's just you can't do that. There's been numerous other missed calls in sports that you'd have to go back and change everything.
Under the rules at that time.
Yeah.
They just can't go back and change it. If that happened, there would be a dam bursting on many other calls.
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't talked about the governor lifting basically a huge part of her. Let's just call it a dramatic loosening of her statewide coronavirus restrictions yesterday. What's that? Does that mean anything to any of us?
I'm not going to a restaurant.
Yeah, it's a return to almost normalcy.
But we don't feel normal.
No.
At least I don't feel normal. Will I eventually go to a restaurant? Yes. Will I be the first one out there next week? Probably not. I know you want to get out, but then you feel like, oh my gosh, you're a little apprehensive, at least for me anyway.
I was.
It's like walking into a lake for the first time early in the summer where the water is still cold.
You want to go, but
that's a good one, Dick.
How about you, Dave?
The water is
sooner or later. Everybody will be in the lake.
I won't be eating in any restaurants. I'll still do carry out, and I won't be going to any stores.
Right.
I won't do any of that stuff. Not yet.
Yeah.
I actually put the old mask on and went to Staples yesterday.
When are you going to Costco? That's the big question.
That'll be
like Christmas.
That'll be the big deal. I mean, if I go to Costco, that means I feel
normal.
Completely normal, because I love Costco and I haven't been there in a very long time. But I went to Staples. Yeah. And because
Staples.
if I'm going to do all this stuff, what's the matter, Dick?
He said Staples.
Well,
you don't like Staples?
Yeah, you've been telling us you've been kind of keeping close to home.
Yeah.
Your first foray out to a retail is at Staples.
Yes,
because I have. Here's
you
the
need
thing.
paper clips?
I have. I take this job pretty seriously, and I have a printer, and I need a backup printer. So I bought a backup printer some time ago, but then my main printer went out. By the way, nobody fixes anything anymore. I took it back to Staples to get it fixed. They don't fix them anymore. So it's like, you mean this whole thing is worthless now? I mean, where do you take a printer that doesn't work anymore to get it fixed? I don't know. But anyway, so I figured I use a laser printer. I love it because I can highlight really well and it doesn't smear. But for a lot of stuff that I print, and I print a lot of stuff every morning. I've got like a phone book worth of stuff here. A lot of it I could just do in what I thought was cheaper inkjet. But anyway, this long story is shortened to say there's another shortage out there.
Ink?
Printers.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody's working from home, and people who didn't have a printer now need a printer. So I'm looking at shelves with nothing on it. So I ended up getting a printer I probably will take back and maybe just order one online because
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there were no printers
Yeah.
there. The guy said they haven't had any for weeks. Huh.
Go to Costco.
Again, a delivery issue. The delivery guy was right in the parking lot when he got caught. Come on back!
I went through the electronics at a Costco on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice any printers.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, you didn't notice any printers? Okay.
No.
Well, it is 5:58 at WJR. That would be where we play the announcer.
Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
And let's check it right here, right now. Our WJR traffic and weather, Dayna Clark.
We are just sticking with that construction 75 southbound at Crooks Road. The on-ramp is closed. That will be shut down for construction through early September. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Oakland University. Prepare yourself to advance with the Oakland University Executive MBA program, now enrolling for the fall semester. Transform your career by taking classes on the weekend. Learn more at OU's virtual info session on June 13th or at oakland.edu/EMBA. Well, we are expecting a hot one today. Cloudy skies, currently 60 degrees, going all the way up to about 89. We could hit 90. We're going to start off with clouds, end up with sunshine, but humidity will be higher as well. Now, tonight we could see an overnight shower as well. Once again, currently 62 degrees. I'm Dayna Clark, WJR News with Dick Hitzner in about 1 minute.
Have you been told you need spine surgery or just sick of living in pain? The Disc Institute has a proven, painless alternative. If your neck, back, or sciatic pain is due to a herniated, degenerative, or bulging disc, then you actually have two problems. One, your pain, and two, your bad disc. Drugs, therapies, epidurals, and new pain lasers are designed to only treat your pain, but they're not designed to treat your disc problem. And your bad disc is what's causing your pain in the first place.
Are we going to now hear the station like this all the time?
No, I think it's gone now. You know, talking about Costco, I've been there many times throughout this pandemic, and they have very good procedures in place to keep you safe.
David, what do you mean you've been there very many times during this?
Yeah. I go to Costco.
I thought we weren't supposed to go anywhere.
We got to eat.
Yeah,
we got to get toilet paper. We got to get.
No. And they have really good
paper towels.
Last time I went to Costco, which was a very long time ago. Hello, Cindy. They didn't have toilet paper. Remember that?
Yes.
That was
a couple
months ago now.
Yeah.
They got it now.
Yep. And
you only allowed so many though.
Right.
You can only buy one. Yeah, they limit you.
Yeah.
How many? They have a guy standing there watching you.
Yeah. They have the toilet paper police. Kim is listening in the other room, and she says Dick's volume is low. I don't know if our engineering folks can change that. I wonder if she's listening on the radio or on the computer. Probably the computer, I would guess. People love this computer thing. They love to be able to see us so that they can see, for example, today that I really am as tired as I say I am.
Oh, you're so silly.
And as Dayna pointed out just before we started on the air, and it's only Tuesday.
Only Tuesday. Now the struggle bus really gets real, Dave, on Thursday.
Yes, I remember the struggle
bus.
bus. I remember the struggle bus from last time I filled in.
Yeah.
And Brian and I laugh about it constantly.
Yeah.
About the struggle bus.
Brian has the worst schedule.
He does. I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. But it explains why if I try to call him at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he's in bed for the night, just about. Because he has to get up so early, and I think he comes in about 2:30 or something.
He comes in at 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. God bless you, Brian.
I know. Yes. Our hero.
They're supposed to get, hazardous duty pay or something. When this is all over. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it, but I know that was discussed early on when they had to make decisions about people broadcasting from home or being in the Fisher Building, and virtually no one's in the Fisher Building. I mean, as far as a radio station goes.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other businesses.
No,
or
it's
or
very
companies.
weird. It's very weird walking in here.
Is it?
There's
Yeah.
nobody. There's nobody here. It's weird walking into the building. It's weird coming from the parking structure
Yeah.
and going in and coming up the elevator. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced it in 2 months. I don't know. How long have we been sheltering in place or whatever we call it now?
Yeah. I guess she said people can go back to work who can't work from home.
Oh, is
That's
that
what
the
the governor
caveat? If you can't work from home, you can go back to work.
Yes.
Right.
See, because we're here till the end of August, I'm told.
Right.
Correct.
I mean,
Yep.
for the radio station.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's okay by me. I'm getting very used to doing it from home. Would
Yes,
not
I
mind
like
doing it
working
from
from
home all
home.
the time, because the commute is much shorter.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Bev says the elevators are working? Question mark. That must be for you, Dave.
Oh boy.
Elevators are working. What's really weird is that back hallway where we walk down.
Yeah.
It's like something out of The Shining, walking down that hallway.
Is it pitch black, or are there lights?
It's not
there?
there's lights, but it's just weird. It's
You're just
a
waiting for
weird
somebody
feeling.
to jump out, right?
Yeah, if we see those two twin little girls come out,
Oh, Lord.
look out. Yeah.
God. Okay. I'm staying home.
Right.
I'm staying home. You know what's going to happen? I had this paper. I don't know where it is now. There's just too many papers. I've taken my desk and taking the stack was this high of stuff, and just putting it in a bin over here. And I'm kidding myself, saying, "Well, I have to go through that bin and throw things away and keep the important things." It's not good. But anyway.
I think bottle returns are also coming back too.
Yes, they are. I saw that. Yeah,
Got a lot of those.
So that'll be good.
Come back.
Yeah. But that line is going to be crazy. People will be fighting in the bottle return line.
You see the officers kneeling in Troy with the protesters.
Oh, that's wonderful when they do that.
Yeah.
They're in a terrible position.
If they are, because they're good officers.
Yes,
There are
so-
a few bad apples, and it makes it very tough on all the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I sure hope we're near the end of all this stuff, but I don't know.
Right.
Michigan for the most part has been pretty good.
Yes.
Well, last
except
night
for a
was
couple-
excellent, and Detroit certainly has been much better
Paul
than the
W.
other
Smith
big
Show.
cities.
News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the second day of June, the 154th day of 2020. There are 212 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And the team, Dick Gapner is here from WJR News. Actually, he's in his home, like most of us are. Also in her home, Dayna Clark, checking in, traffic, weather, and everything else going on. Dayna, nice
Good morning.
to see you. Good morning. Kingpin, Dave Kingpin Rieger, actually is in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. Now, I can't tell. Are you in the booth? Are you in the producer's booth?
I am in the chair to what would be your left when you would do your show.
Okay. And Brian is off to the other side.
And Brian's over to right over here.
Right on the screen. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, and to your left, our right.
Correct. Yeah.
And hail, the gang's all here. Ann has the week off, and we're here with the big news being that the rest of the state is we're, I guess, in group 4. What is? How is it?
Phase 4.
Phase 4.
Phase 4. She said.
And that takes in all of us, I guess. But there are still limitations. There are still things. I have a list in here. But the governor's coming on at 7:18, so we'll talk about all those things then. the big story right now, when part of it's with the governor, is the governors of this great country of ours were kind of lambasted by the president for not being tough enough on the bad people out there, not the good protesters that are doing it right and making a point, but the bad people who are taking away from those good protesters by burning and looting and doing all the bad things. And I agree that they should be held accountable because they are taking away from what these well-intentioned good people are doing. Because we're not talking about what we should be talking about. We're talking about what these morons have done out there to cause utter chaos and destruction. Fascinating. I kept saying, wait until these protesters do break through the barriers and get on the White House lawn. Well, that would have been an ugly thing, but I was surprised. They actually, I guess this is their job, the Secret Service, they put the president and his family in a bunker in the White House. I've heard of people staying in the Lincoln bedroom, but you must have to make a very, very cheap donation to get, well, you're going to have dinner with us in the bunker. Don't hear about the presidential bunker very much, do you, Dick?
No, I don't think they give tours.
And was never on any tour that I've been on. That is for sure. What else is going on?
Well, I don't know.
Anytime I say what else is going on, followed by a big sigh.
Right. It's just exhausting. Just
there's a lot.
This week is going to be another exhausting week, I think. Just it's so much going on. People are confused, upset, sad, angry. It's just I don't know. America is not great right now.
It is a year that we will sadly remember for a lot of
2020 has been real sucky. So
it does suck. Yeah.
I mean, 2020 was supposed to be 2020. Remember when we waited for 2020? We thought 2020 was so far away.
Yeah, but as soon as Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters retired, it didn't mean much.
It didn't mean nothing.
They did roll her out to have her say, "This is 2020." They left Hugh out, which bothered me. Right. He said it a lot longer than she did. Anyway, so Kim listening in on the computer on YouTube, watching us, Claude was asking if anyone remembers 1989 Tiananmen Square. June 4th is the anniversary of the tanks rolling into the square. And to this day, I don't know if this was true or not, but I had dinner with some business people, and there was a guy there as their guest for dinner. And they said, "You know who he is, don't you?" And I go, "No, we're just meeting." And he goes, "He's the guy who stood in front of the tank and put his hand out to stop the tank."
Okay.
You know how there are famous pictures from every moment in history?
Yes.
That's one of the famous pictures. And to this day, I don't know if they were pulling my leg or if it was really him. And it just came to my mind when you said that. So we should have, we'll do something. What is today, June 2nd? Yeah, we'll do something June 4th on the Tiananmen Square thing because it's too important. And frankly, we're getting back in China to another situation where in Hong Kong we could have lots of Tiananmen Squares. It's ugly. It's ugly. So we have the governor coming up. What else is going on, David?
We also have we have Tony Paul who wrote the article about the anniversary of the Almost Perfect Game.
Armando
Galarraga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We also have that today. So that was a big story 10 years ago tonight down at Comerica Park.
Remember when they used to play baseball at Comerica Park?
Oh, yeah. Remember that place?
Yeah.
There's 6 primaries today, Paul W.
6 primaries?
Which will be the first sport that gets back into action?
That's a good question.
Auto racing, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Right. I can't guess that they've already done
the
it.
Big 4, where there's a ball or a puck.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be baseball. It might be hockey. Hockey seems to have the.
Will it be NBA?
No,
that would be the easiest.
Yeah, hockey already. I think hockey's the furthest along. And I think the NFL will be going off as planned also. College football, I'm not sure.
Who's making the deal with Disney?
That's the NBA. They want to do it from the wide world of sports down there at Disney and have all the teams play the rest out. But they're just trying to decide if they're going to finish the season, if they're going to go right to the playoffs. Whereas hockey has already decided they're going to a round robin tournament, which unfortunately the Red Wings are not a part of.
Right.
And
is that why you asked about NBA, Dick? That'd be the easiest?
Yeah, that would be the easiest. And if they did it at Disney World, which would be a perfect venue, the NBA would capture worldwide attention immediately. It would behoove them to get that going. And, they have fewer players. They have fewer athletes than anyone else. So it's better to organize basketball. You don't have to have the making of ice at ice rinks. So there's a lot of complications in the other sports that you don't have with basketball. They could get that underway fairly quickly if they can iron out the pay and the players' interests here.
Well, good thoughts, Richard. That is for sure. And
America would welcome it right now.
America, heck, if they welcomed stone skipping,
we'd watch that.
They're going to welcome just about anything. Tiddlywinks, live.
Jacks.
Does anyone even know what Tiddlywinks is anymore?
No.
614 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We treat you like you'd treat you. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
Soon, I think we're going to be doing this throughout the entire show so that you can listen to us at 760 WJR in your car, in your home, wherever you are, in the shower. And then you'll be able to continue to watch us on YouTube and WJR.com and all the social media stuff. But as of now, we bid you a fond adieu on the social media, and at least our faces. You can still get the audio, and we'll do this again tomorrow morning. But we continue on WJR at 6:15 and our WJR traffic and weather with Dayna.
It's a great start out there this Tuesday, 75 northbound between 7 Mile and Adams. Construction reduced to just 2 lanes there. That project has been in place for some time now. That's in Bloomfield Township. That will be scheduled through early November. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Pain Free Life Centers of Troy. Pain Free Life Centers in Troy has the only FDA-approved high-intensity, high-dose